Hi, everybody. This is Leanne the lawyer, and we are back. And with this particular video, we're going to learn how to use the electronic records that are available to you regarding taxes on parcels. So, why would we do this? Why do we care about the taxes? Well, first of all, we're going to learn how to look at the current taxes for the property. So that's going to help you fill out those closing documents that we talked about in previous assignments and in a previous week. Also, you're going to be able to, you're going to learn how to do the research to see, hey, are there any unpaid taxes lurking around out there? So it's really important that you're able to access the tax information. Now, as always, because this is an electronic search, it is not going to be all inclusive. It is going to give you what it gives you, and then everything that you do must be followed up at the local courthouse and actually look at the documentation, authenticate things. And the tax office is actually separate from where you would find the deeds, and you can talk to those folks there. But you can also find a lot of this information right there in the records room where you would be searching, where you would be doing the rest of your title search. So here we go. We are going to use the same deed, the same title search that we used when we talked about the chain of title. So if you remember, this should look familiar to you. This is the Adrian Brown Dale Snyder deed. And we concluded that Adrian Brown was the current owner of the property. She received the property through this deed on December 4th, 2013, which really wasn't that long ago. So something that we can do that is really important, sorry about that, something that we can do is really important is use the information from the deed to actually help expedite our tax record search, and that will make sense to you in a second. Because you can search either by name or you can search by tax map and parcel. And if you're searching specifically for this parcel, it's going to help you understand and make sure that you're dealing with this piece of property only and not something else that this particular individual actually owns. Okay, so Adrian Brown, current owner. If we look at the second page of this particular deed, and almost all deeds are going to have this type of information in it. So let's look at page 2. It's going to take a second. There it is. Taxing information. Most deeds are going to have a section that tells you exactly how it's going to be listed in the tax records. So this particular one, you can see, is in the 6th ward. Okay, now that's important. That's usually not going to be contained in this little blurb right here that they give you. It's going to be somewhere in the text itself. 6th ward is important because that's the district that this property is located within. And then you can see it's listed under Dale Snyder's name. And you're thinking, but Adrian Brown owns the property. But what's going to happen, depending on when the property is conveyed, what the time of the year, it may still be listed under the previous owner until a following or a future tax year. So it's really helpful to see how this is done. So this particular deed is going to be, or this particular tax information is going to be listed under Dale Snyder. It's a map 31, parcel 85. Now you want to write that down, and you want to take note of that, because when we go to the search the tax records, that's information that we're going to use to learn about this particular parcel. And it's block 7, lot 6. It's 1450 Mayfield Avenue. Okay, so we're actually done with the deed because we've gotten the information that we need. I'm just going to expand your view here so you can see this a little bit bigger. And that's just where we got the deed information. Okay, on this tab right here, I've already entered in monongalia.softwaresystems.com:8383/index.html. That is provided for you in your assignment, that website. It is also provided to you in your weekly materials in your course. So this is the Monongalia County Tax Records electronic database that is searchable right from your home. Okay, so I told you you could search by name. So let's go ahead and search by name. so you can see what comes up. Okay, we're going to search for Adrian Brown. And let's see what comes up when we do that. Now, if you look here, Adrian Brown, a bunch of things come up under her name, a bunch of different addresses, and these are half tax year amounts over here. Over on this side is the ticket number. The ticket numbers all start out with the year for the taxes. Okay? Now, the type of taxes, you either have real property or personal property. All of this that came up under Adrian Brown is personal property. So actually, that's important information to know. Hey, does she have any unpaid personal property taxes? I'm going to go ahead and click on the most recent one. She paid for the first half. She needs to pay the total due, which is $113.81. It is now delinquent. So that's something that you would be aware of if you were purchasing this property from Adrian Brown. She has, it looks like these are two cars, Ford Focus and a Nissan something. Okay, and so her taxes are currently delinquent for her personal property. Okay, so that would be something for you to note and alert the attorney that, hey, she's behind on her personal property tax records. Those aren't going to be as devastating as if she was behind on her real estate property taxes, but those don't even come up yet. So let's see. Let's go back, and instead of searching for Adrian Brown, let's search for Dale Snyder. Because remember, our deed told us this property was going to be listed under Dale Snyder. So let's search. Look how many names come up. Okay? Look at that. There's a bunch here for Dale Snyder. There's a bunch for Dale W. Snyder. And there's a bunch for Dale W. and Nancy Snyder. This Dale W. Snyder is married to this Nancy person, which would be good to know. Is our Dale Snyder the same as the Dale W. Snyder? Doesn't appear to be, but that would be something that you would want to look into, because if Dale Snyder was married to Nancy or someone else, our Dale Snyder, when he conveyed the property to Adrian Brown, I don't have a signature. I didn't see a signature on that deed from Nancy or any kind of a wife. Dale Snyder was individually transferring that property. So if Dale were married when he conveyed it, that may be one of those title defects that crops up. So again, you might say to the attorney that you're working for, you might want to make a note when you do your title exam, hey, there's somebody with a very similar name. I'm not sure that this is the same person, but you might want to go down to the courthouse and look up some divorce records if you can have access to them. Okay? To see if perhaps, and look up some marriage certificate. I've actually already done a marriage search on Mr. Snyder. Nothing comes up. And Nancy actually comes up as, there's another Nancy Snyder. It's a very common name. So I didn't see anything in Montague County, but that doesn't mean something doesn't exist somewhere. So that'd be something just to make note of for the attorney that you work for. So there's just too much stuff here. All this is listed as $1,450. It can become confusing. You would want to go through here. We don't have time on this video. You would want to kind of go through here and look and see if Mr. Snyder, during the time of the conveyance, had any unpaid taxes, which could later result in somebody coming back and trying to get that property for failure to pay taxes. But what we're going to do is I'm going to show you how much easier it is to search by the 6th Ward. It was tax map 31, and it was parcel 85. So let's put that specific information in there. We're going to search by map parcel, and there we go. This is all real property taxes having to do with that particular parcel, and it looks like at some point, rather than being called 1450 Mayfield Avenue, it was called 715 Tyrone Road. 2014 taxes are the most recent. It's telling you that there is none due. Right here is important. There's no back taxes owed. Okay? And actually, the payments have been received for the first half and the second half already of the year. There was a payment made in August of 2014 and one made February of 2015, both in the amount of $360.84. So those were the total taxes paid for the 2014 tax year. You can see the owner's name is still listed as Dale Snyder, but it's in care of Adrian M. Brown, who we know is our current owner. There's the address. You see that asterisk 15? That means in 2015, the tax year 2015, Adrian will be listed as the owner. It will transition over to her at that time. Okay, well that's how to navigate the Montague County tax records. You can play with that. You can look at that, learn how to use the system. Those are the big things. So thank you very much for listening. Have a great day.